in. So I'm going to start with you, Sean, because what are your views on the concept that, first of all, the World Cup is in Qatar, and then secondly, the idea that a lot of people are doing a lot of talking and saying how they're going to make all these gestures, but they're still going?
Look, firstly, it has to be said, Gary Lineker is the most ridiculous man in the country. He's traversed across the media in the last year has shown that we should not take him seriously. And if you really want to show your support for the World Cup, start with not following Gary Lineker on Twitter or any other social media. That's the first thing. I think the second thing to say is it comes down to FIFA. FIFA has always been, at best, a dysfunctional organisation. I sat on a train and spoke about this with someone, and they suggested a slightly criminal organisation. The point is, FIFA should have seen this coming. People around FIFA should have said, look, we need to go somewhere else. But, of course, money talks. And Qatar put the money up in the way they did, and FIFA grabbed it with both hands, and this will roll on and on and on. And it's unfortunate because FIFA, and it's only FIFA who need to be responsible for this, could have done something else.
Well, obviously, Gary Lineker's not here to defend himself, so we don't want to be too, horrible to him. But at the end of the day, he is still going and he's taking the money and apparently doing some sort of gesture to show he's, whatever.
Yeah, but you get the same with the Olympics. You might think it shouldn't have been in Beijing. But you could say athletes shouldn't go, commentators shouldn't go. No, I'm a big fan of Gary Lineker. I can see why he's going, because it's his job. That's why he's going. I don't think it's really the money, it's his job. But I've been to Qatar twice to report on migrant workers and go around the camps they were in. And the squalid conditions they were enduring, their passports taken away, treated like slaves under the kafala system, working incredibly long days in dangerous conditions, unreal heat, and thousands dying on building the infrastructure. That World Cup should never have gone to that country. There's bribery and skullduggery involved. But it's there. Will I criticise football fans from England and Wales or Scotland, Northern Ireland, come to that for watching it or wanting to go? No, I won't. I understand why they will think it's wrong. It is here, but nevertheless, it is a tournament, and I want England, I want Wales to win. I think the big flashpoint will be on the streets if the Qataris, there's about 100,000 Qataris, there's about 1 million migrant workers, and they kind of are very authoritarian because they fear they'll lose control of their country. They're also socially conservative, although often very hypocritical about it. But if you're a gay football fan and you want to go and you're holding somebody's hand or you just kiss somebody on the cheek in the stadium or on the street and you're arrested and you're locked up in prison and you can potentially be jailed for years, I think that's just totally unacceptable. It's where I think James Cleverly, the Foreign Secretary, got it wrong. And he got stood on by Downing Street.
I think in a sense he got it right, because I know James as a person, and he was trying to say as a man, look, you will be in a very potentially dangerous situation, and I'm just trying to help you think that through, because if you did something here really out of order, our police would arrest you and give you a cup of tea. It will be very different.
I'm not quite sure it's like that here.
It'd be very different there, and James is probably just trying to say to people, please don't put yourself at risk. There's other ways that we can deal with this, and ultimately James will be the person who will have to row in and help people out.
Well, I hope he does row in and help people out, or I hope nobody is in trouble to need help. If they do, they should. But no, I think it's just, look, it's a basic human right, isn't it? You can love whoever you like. You're not harming anybody else. What is wrong? What is wrong? And I think it's the Qataris who have to change, not people who are going to watch football.
But that's the point, though. Why would they change if everything stays the same?
Yeah.
So if they carry on behaving in that way and people still go to the World Cup and still, accept the FIFA still allow it to be held in Qatar, how do we expect that? Because ultimately, it is a humanitarian thing, isn't it? It's not. Yeah. It's not a rule where you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. This is actually. This is a human right to be able to.
That's why I say it's a basic fundamental human right.
Basic fundamental human right. Places like that, we shouldn't be.
But that's why I say FIFA needed to do something about this. The Olympics, the World Cup, the Commonwealth Games, they are effectively the jewels of mankind. They're the things that we share together, we put around, and it is a special thing to host them. So therefore, they should be treating this with a lot more reverence. And putting it in Qatar doesn't suggest they are.
When a tournament like the World Cup was awarded, it shouldn't just be the money.
Yes,
and whether
correct.
you have the stadiums. It's will you treat people who go to watch with respect? That should just be absolutely fundamental.
That should be first. It should be looked at, does this nation hold the basic values that we can all get behind? Then they should consider anything else.
wearing a rainbow armband or taking
means nothing. The reason Gary Lineker gets pointed at is because he spends his whole time, pointing at other people, virtue signalling. Now it's his turn. He's failed horribly.
He has failed.
I don't accept he's failed.
No, I think he has.
I know.
He's going to the World Cup. He's actually going there.
He is.
You can't go on and on and on about it and say how lambast people for saying things and then you go and do something that's just as bad.
You've got to go and make your point. He's got to go and make his point.
He'd make a better point if he didn't go. If he said, I'm not going because of it, that would then I'd be behind him 100%.
Again, I disagree. I think it's better if when he's out there and he's commentating and he makes his point from the country.
I think
but he also
make the same point in this country and not go, and that's a bigger point.
He also will have to listen to James Cleverly, because if he's commentating and says something particularly provocative, they might come and get him.
That would be...
It's possible. It's possible.
We'll talk more because we want to find out what you guys at home think of that.